Let's get ready for the Massachusetts real estate exam with 100 questions covering key state laws, principles, and practices you'll need to know. And keep an eye on the bottom corner. There's something there that could make a big difference in your prep. We'll tell you how to use it in just a minute. Now let's get started.
Let's start with a quick review of licensing requirements and procedures. Massachusetts licensing requirements and procedures. What is the minimum age requirement to apply for a real estate salesperson license in Massachusetts? Is it A, 16 years, B, 17 years, C, 18 years, or D, 21 years? The answer is C, 18 years. In Massachusetts, an individual must be at least 18 years old to apply for a real estate salesperson license. This ensures that applicants have reached the age of majority and can legally enter into contracts. How many hours of pre-licensing education are required for a real estate salesperson license in Massachusetts? Is it A, 30 hours, B, 40 hours, C, 50 hours, or D, 60 hours? The answer is B, 40 hours. Massachusetts requires 40 hours of pre-licensing education for a real estate salesperson license to ensure that applicants have a solid foundation in real estate principles and practices.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsey.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsey, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
Which of the following is a requirement to obtain a real estate broker license in Massachusetts? Is it A, 1 year as a salesperson, B, passing a national exam only, C, no prior experience required, or D, 3 years as a licensed salesperson? The answer is D, 3 years as a licensed salesperson. In Massachusetts, applicants must have at least 3 years of experience as a licensed salesperson and complete additional education to qualify for a broker's license. What is one of the requirements for a non-resident to obtain a real estate license in Massachusetts? Is it A, complete an additional 10 hours of education, B, provide proof of Massachusetts residency, C, file an irrevocable consent form, or D, pay a non-resident application fee? The answer is C, file an irrevocable consent form. Non-residents seeking a Massachusetts real estate license must file an irrevocable consent form, which allows legal actions to be initiated against them in Massachusetts courts. This ensures accountability and jurisdiction. Continuing education requirements. What is the minimum number of continuing education hours required for a real estate license renewal in Massachusetts? Is it A, 8 hours, B, 12 hours, C, 16 hours, or D, 20 hours? The answer is B, 12 hours. Massachusetts requires real estate licensees to complete 12 hours of continuing education every 2 years to ensure they stay updated with industry practices and regulations. Which of the following topics is typically included in Massachusetts real estate continuing education courses? Is it A, fair housing laws, B, advanced landscaping techniques, C, basic cooking skills, or D, vehicle maintenance? The answer is A, fair housing laws. Fair housing laws are a critical component of continuing education, ensuring agents understand and comply with legal requirements to prevent discrimination in housing. How often must Massachusetts real estate licensees complete their continuing education requirements? Is it A, annually, B, every 3 years, C, every 2 years, or D, every 5 years? The answer is C, every 2 years. Real estate licensees in Massachusetts must complete their continuing education every 2 years to maintain their licenses and stay informed about industry changes. Which entity typically approves continuing education courses for Massachusetts real estate licensees? Is it A, National Association of Realtors, B, local real estate offices, C, State Department of Education, or D, Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons? The answer is D, Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons. The Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons approves continuing education courses, ensuring they meet educational standards and relevance. Massachusetts real estate laws and regulations. Massachusetts-specific fair housing laws. Which of the following is a protected class under Massachusetts-specific fair housing laws that is not covered by the Federal Fair Housing Act? Is it A, race, B, religion, C, sexual orientation, or D, gender? The answer is C, sexual orientation. Massachusetts fair housing laws include protections for individuals based on sexual orientation, ancestry, marital status, and age, which are not all covered under federal law. This reflects the state's broader commitment to preventing discrimination. In Massachusetts, which agency is primarily responsible for enforcing fair housing laws? Is it A, Department of Housing and Urban Development, B, Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination, C, Real Estate Board of Massachusetts, or D, Massachusetts Housing Finance Agency? The answer is B, Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination. The Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination enforces the state's anti-discrimination laws, including those related to housing. It handles complaints and conducts investigations to ensure compliance. What is the penalty for a first-time violation of Massachusetts fair housing laws? Is it A, fines up to $10,000, B, mandatory community service, C, imprisonment for up to 1 year, or D, loss of real estate license? The answer is A, fines up to $10,000. Penalties for violating Massachusetts fair housing laws can include fines, damages, and attorney fees. The exact penalty depends on the severity and specifics of the violation, but fines are common. How does Massachusetts law define familial status in the context of fair housing? Is it A, only households with children under 12, B, only households with a single parent, C, only married couples with children, or D, households with children under 18? The answer is D, households with children under 18. Massachusetts fair housing laws define familial status as households with children under 18, including pregnant women and those securing custody of a child, offering broad protection against discrimination. What specific protection does Massachusetts fair housing law provide for individuals with disabilities? Is it A, reasonable accommodations and modifications, B, priority housing placement, C, exemption from all rental fees, or D, guaranteed housing approval? The answer is A, reasonable accommodations and modifications. Massachusetts law requires reasonable accommodations and modifications for individuals with disabilities, ensuring equal access to housing and preventing discrimination based on physical or mental impairments. Which of the following is a unique protection offered by Massachusetts fair housing laws not covered by federal laws? Is it A, religion, B, race, C, source of income, or D, sex? The answer is C, source of income. Massachusetts fair housing laws include protections for individuals based on their source of income, such as those using public assistance, which is not specifically covered under federal laws. What additional protection does Massachusetts law provide regarding age discrimination in housing? Is it A, only protects individuals over 60? B, focuses on children under 18? C, aligns with federal law, protecting only the elderly? Or D, protects individuals of all ages? The answer is D, protects individuals of all ages. Massachusetts law protects individuals of all ages from discrimination, unlike federal laws which focus on protecting the elderly. This ensures equal housing opportunities for all age groups. How does Massachusetts fair housing law address discrimination based on sexual orientation? Is it A, prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation? B, allows landlords to refuse based on sexual orientation? C, only protects heterosexual individuals? Or D, defers to federal law on the matter? The answer is A, prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation. Massachusetts fair housing laws explicitly prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation, offering protections that are not explicitly covered under federal fair housing laws.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsey.
Massachusetts-specific contract requirements. Which of the following is a requirement for a valid real estate contract in Massachusetts? Is it A, verbal agreement? B, written agreement? C, handshake agreement? Or D, email confirmation? The answer is B, written agreement. Massachusetts law requires that real estate contracts be in writing to be enforceable. This is in accordance with the Statute of Frauds, which aims to prevent fraud in real estate transactions. What is the primary purpose of the offer to purchase in Massachusetts real estate transactions? Is it A, to finalize the sale? B, to secure financing? C, to outline buyer's proposal? Or D, to transfer ownership? The answer is C, to outline buyer's proposal. The offer to purchase outlines the buyer's proposal and terms, serving as a precursor to the purchase and sale agreement. It is a crucial step in formalizing the buyer's intent. In Massachusetts, what is a key requirement for a purchase and sale agreement to be considered valid? Is it A, consideration? B, notarization? C, witness signatures? Or D, broker's approval? The answer is A, consideration. A valid purchase and sale agreement in Massachusetts must include consideration, which is the agreed-upon price or value exchanged between the buyer and seller. What must be included in a Massachusetts real estate contract to satisfy the Statute of Frauds? Is it A, verbal agreement? B, email correspondence? C, broker's license number? Or D, property description and signatures? The answer is D, property description and signatures. The Statute of Frauds requires the contract to include a description of the property, the names of the parties involved, the sale price, and be signed by the party to be charged. How does the Massachusetts Consumer Protection Act impact real estate contracts? Is it A, allows verbal agreements? B, prevents deceptive practices? C, mandates notarization? Or D, requires broker involvement? The answer is B, prevents deceptive practices. The Massachusetts Consumer Protection Act ensures that real estate contracts are free from unfair or deceptive practices, protecting consumers from fraud and misinformation during transactions. What is required for a real estate contract to be enforceable under Massachusetts law? Is it A, verbal agreement? B, notarized document? C, written and signed document? Or D, witness signature? The answer is C, written and signed document. Massachusetts law requires that a real estate contract be in writing, signed by the parties involved, and include essential terms such as price and property description to be enforceable. Which element is crucial for a Massachusetts real estate contract under the Statute of Frauds? Is it A, written agreement, B, oral agreement, C, verbal promise, or D, handshake deal? The answer is A, written agreement. The Statute of Frauds mandates that real estate contracts must be in writing to prevent fraud and misunderstandings, ensuring clarity and enforceability. How does the Massachusetts law view electronic signatures in real estate contracts? Is it A, not accepted, B, legally binding, C, only for amendments, or D, require notarization? The answer is B, legally binding. Under Massachusetts law, electronic signatures are considered legally binding and valid for real estate contracts, provided all parties consent to their use.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsey link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero, swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Overview of Massachusetts real estate statutes. What is the primary purpose of the Massachusetts Consumer Protection Act in real estate transactions? Is it A, to regulate property taxes, B, to protect consumers from unfair practices, C, to set real estate agent commission rates, or D, to ensure compliance with zoning laws? The answer is B, to protect consumers from unfair practices. The Massachusetts Consumer Protection Act aims to shield consumers from unfair or deceptive practices, ensuring transparency and honesty in real estate dealings. It mandates full disclosure of pertinent information to buyers. Which entity is responsible for licensing real estate brokers and salespersons in Massachusetts? Is it A, Massachusetts Department of Revenue, B, Massachusetts Housing Partnership, C, Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons, or D, Massachusetts Real Estate Commission? The answer is C, Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons. The Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons licenses and regulates real estate professionals, ensuring they meet state standards and ethical practices. Under Massachusetts real estate law, what must be included in a property disclosure statement? Is it A, known property defects and issues, B, the seller's personal financial history, C, the neighborhood crime rate, or D, detailed renovation history? The answer is A, known property defects and issues. Sellers are required to disclose known property defects and issues, such as structural problems or environmental hazards, to inform buyers and prevent future disputes. What is the purpose of the Massachusetts Homestead Act in real estate? Is it A, to regulate residential lease agreements, B, to determine property boundaries, C, to establish property tax rates, or D, to protect home equity from creditors? The answer is D, to protect home equity from creditors. The Homestead Act provides homeowners with protection against unsecured creditor claims by declaring a portion of their home equity exempt from such claims, offering financial security. Massachusetts property ownership and land use. Types of property ownership, e.g. fee simple, leasehold, joint tenancy. What type of property ownership allows multiple owners to have an undivided interest in the entire property with rights of survivorship in Massachusetts? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, joint tenancy, C, fee simple, or D, leasehold? The answer is B, joint tenancy. Joint tenancy in Massachusetts allows multiple owners to have equal ownership shares with rights of survivorship. This means that upon the death of one owner, their share automatically passes to the surviving owners. Which form of property ownership grants the owner the fullest rights to use, enjoy, and dispose of the property in Massachusetts? Is it A, fee simple, B, leasehold, C, joint tenancy, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is A, fee simple. Fee simple ownership provides the most complete set of rights to the owner, including the ability to sell, lease, or bequeath the property without restrictions, subject to zoning laws. In Massachusetts, what form of ownership allows a tenant to occupy property for a specified term, usually under a lease agreement? Is it A, fee simple, B, joint tenancy, C, tenancy in common, or D, leasehold? The answer is D, leasehold. Leasehold ownership grants tenants the right to occupy and use property for a specified term under the conditions of a lease without owning the property itself. Which form of property ownership in Massachusetts allows each owner to have a distinct, divisible interest that can be sold or inherited separately? Is it A, fee simple, B, joint tenancy, C, tenancy in common, or D, leasehold? The answer is C, tenancy in common. Tenancy in common allows owners to have distinct shares that can be sold or bequeathed independently, unlike joint tenancy, which includes rights of survivorship. Public versus private land use controls. Which of the following is an example of a public land use control in Massachusetts? Is it A, easements, B, zoning laws, C, deed restrictions, or D, covenants? The answer is B, zoning laws. Zoning laws are public land use controls implemented by local governments to regulate land use and development. They ensure orderly growth and protect public welfare by designating specific areas for residential, commercial, or industrial use. What is the primary purpose of a comprehensive plan in Massachusetts? Is it A, to guide long-term community development, B, to enforce building codes, C, to issue building permits, or D, to assess property taxes? The answer is A, to guide long-term community development. A comprehensive plan guides the long-term development of a community, addressing land use, housing, transportation, and public services. It serves as a framework for zoning and development decisions, promoting sustainable growth. In Massachusetts, what role does a conservation easement play in land use? Is it A, facilitates urban development, B, enforces zoning changes, C, protects natural resources, or D, regulates commercial activities? The answer is C, protects natural resources. A conservation easement is a voluntary agreement that restricts land development to protect natural resources. It preserves open space, wildlife habitats, and scenic areas by limiting certain types of development. What distinguishes a variance from a special permit in Massachusetts zoning regulations? Is it A, variances are temporary, special permits are permanent, B, special permits require state approval, variances do not, C, variances are for commercial properties, special permits for residential, or D, variances address hardships, special permits allow specific uses? The answer is D, variances address hardships, special permits allow specific uses. A variance allows deviation from zoning requirements due to unique property hardships, while a special permit allows specific uses not typically permitted, provided they meet certain conditions. Both require local government approval. Land use and zoning laws. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws in Massachusetts? Is it A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development, B, to increase property taxes, C, to enhance architectural aesthetics, or D, to limit environmental impact? The answer is A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development. Zoning laws in Massachusetts regulate land use to ensure orderly development, protect property values, and promote public welfare by segregating incompatible land uses. Which of the following is a common type of zoning classification in Massachusetts? Is it A, agricultural, B. Mixed use. C. Residential. Or D. Historical. The answer is C. Residential. Residential, commercial, and industrial are common zoning classifications, each designating specific land use types and restrictions. How do Massachusetts zoning laws typically affect property owners seeking to build a new structure? Is it A, they automatically approve all new structures? B, they only apply to commercial properties? C, they provide tax incentives for new constructions? Or D, they require adherence to specific building codes and permits? The answer is D. They require adherence to specific building codes and permits. Zoning laws dictate what structures can be built and where, often requiring permits and adherence to specific building codes and land use regulations. What is a variance in the context of Massachusetts zoning laws? Is it A, a change in property tax classification? B, a legal exception to zoning requirements? C, a temporary halt on construction? Or D, a type of zoning classification? The answer is B, a legal exception to zoning requirements. A variance is a legal exception that allows property owners to deviate from zoning requirements, granted when strict enforcement would cause undue hardship.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Condominiums and HOAs. In Massachusetts, what is a key responsibility of a condominium association? Is it A, paying individual unit owners property taxes? B, maintaining common areas? C, setting property values for units? Or D, providing individual unit insurance? The answer is B, maintaining common areas. Condominium associations in Massachusetts are responsible for maintaining common areas, ensuring they are safe and in good condition. This includes tasks such as landscaping, cleaning, and repairing shared facilities. What is a primary function of a homeowners association in Massachusetts? Is it A, enforcing community rules? B, providing individual homeowner legal advice? C, managing individual property sales? Or D, setting individual property tax rates? The answer is A, enforcing community rules. An HOA in Massachusetts primarily enforces community rules and regulations, ensuring uniformity and compliance among homeowners to maintain the community's aesthetics and property values. What document typically outlines the rights and responsibilities of condominium owners in Massachusetts? Is it A, purchase agreement? B, mortgage contract? C, insurance policy? Or D, declaration of trust? The answer is D, declaration of trust. The Declaration of Trust is a key document that outlines the rights and responsibilities of condominium owners, including rules about maintenance, use of common areas, and governance. How are special assessments typically decided in a Massachusetts condominium association? Is it A, mandated by state law? B, determined by individual unit owners? C, voted on by the association board? Or D, automatically included in monthly fees? The answer is C, voted on by the association board. Special assessments are usually decided by a vote of the condominium association's board or the unit owners, depending on the governing documents, to cover unexpected expenses. Environmental issues and coastal management. What is the primary purpose of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act? Is it A, to prevent alteration of wetlands without a permit? B, to promote urban development in coastal areas? C, to regulate agricultural activities in rural areas? Or D, to enhance recreational opportunities in wetlands? The answer is A, to prevent alteration of wetlands without a permit. The Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act aims to protect wetlands from being altered without a permit, preserving their ability to mitigate flooding, filter water, and support wildlife. Which entity is responsible for enforcing the Coastal Zone Management Act in Massachusetts? Is it A, Massachusetts Department of Transportation, B, Massachusetts Department of Agriculture, C, Massachusetts Office of Coastal Zone Management, or D, Massachusetts Department of Education? The answer is C, Massachusetts Office of Coastal Zone Management. The Massachusetts Office of Coastal Zone Management enforces the Coastal Zone Management Act, ensuring sustainable use and protection of coastal resources. What is a key characteristic of a conservation restriction in Massachusetts property law? Is it A, it allows unrestricted development of the land, B, it is a permanent legal agreement limiting land use, C, it can be easily revoked by the landowner, or D, it is primarily used for agricultural zoning? The answer is B, it is a permanent legal agreement limiting land use. A conservation restriction is a legal agreement that permanently limits uses of the land to protect its conservation values, often involving a third-party organization to enforce it. How does the Massachusetts Public Waterfront Act, also known as Chapter 91, affect property ownership? Is it A, it restricts all private property development near water, B, it allows unrestricted commercial use of waterfronts, C, it provides tax incentives for waterfront development, or D, it mandates public access and regulates tideland use? The answer is D, it mandates public access and regulates tideland use. Chapter 91 ensures public access to the waterfront and regulates activities on tidelands, requiring property owners to obtain licenses for certain developments. Massachusetts Agency Law and Ethics. Agency relationship laws. In Massachusetts, which of the following is a key duty of a real estate agent under the agency relationship laws? Is it A, setting property prices, B, loyalty to the client, C, providing legal advice, or D, disclosing all offers? The answer is B, loyalty to the client. A Massachusetts real estate agent must uphold fiduciary duties, including loyalty, which requires putting the client's interests above all others, including their own. What is required for an agency relationship to be established in Massachusetts real estate? Is it A, a written agreement, B, a verbal agreement, C, a handshake, or D, an email exchange? The answer is A, a written agreement. An agency relationship in Massachusetts is typically established through a written agreement, ensuring clarity and mutual understanding of roles and duties. Which of the following best describes the concept of dual agency in Massachusetts real estate? Is it A, an agent representing multiple clients, B, an agent working for two different firms, C, an agent representing both buyer and seller, or D, an agent with two listings? The answer is C, an agent representing both buyer and seller. Dual agency occurs when a single agent represents both the buyer and seller in a transaction, requiring full disclosure and consent from all parties involved. What is the primary purpose of the Massachusetts mandatory licensee consumer relationship disclosure? Is it A, to set commission rates, B, to provide legal advice, C, to outline marketing strategies, or D, to clarify the relationship between licensee and consumer? The answer is D, to clarify the relationship between licensee and consumer. The disclosure aims to inform consumers about the nature of their relationship with real estate licensees, ensuring transparency and understanding of the roles and duties involved.
Notice the code in the corner? When you're stumped by a question, enter it at birdsey.ai for immediate help. Enjoy complimentary study sessions and access to hundreds of additional questions to help you pass your exam with confidence.
Fiduciary duties and client representation. What is the primary fiduciary duty of a real estate agent in Massachusetts when representing a client? Is it A, confidentiality, B, loyalty, C, disclosure, or D, reasonable care? The answer is B, loyalty. The primary fiduciary duty is loyalty, which requires agents to act in the best interests of their clients above their own interests or those of others. Which fiduciary duty requires an agent to keep their client's information private unless authorized to disclose it? Is it A, confidentiality, B, obedience, C, or D, accounting? The answer is A, confidentiality. Confidentiality obligates agents to protect their client's private information, ensuring it is not disclosed without permission, even after the client relationship ends. In Massachusetts, what is the duty of an agent to disclose all known material facts to their client? Is it A, loyalty, B, confidentiality, C, disclosure, or D? The answer is C, disclosure. Disclosure requires agents to inform clients of all known material facts that could affect their decisions regarding the transaction. What fiduciary duty obligates an agent to follow all lawful instructions given by their client? Is it A, loyalty, B, disclosure, C, confidentiality, or D, obedience? The answer is D, obedience. Obedience requires agents to adhere to the lawful instructions of their clients, ensuring their directives are followed in the transaction process. Massachusetts Ethics Guidelines and Enforcement. What is the primary purpose of the Massachusetts Ethics Guidelines for real estate professionals? Is it A, to increase real estate sales, B, to maintain public trust and protect consumer interests, C, to standardize commission rates, or D, to simplify real estate transactions? The answer is B, to maintain public trust and protect consumer interests. The Massachusetts Ethics Guidelines aim to ensure that real estate professionals conduct their business with integrity, transparency, and fairness, thereby maintaining public trust and protecting consumer interests. Which body is responsible for enforcing ethics guidelines among real estate professionals in Massachusetts? Is it A, Massachusetts Department of Revenue, B, Massachusetts Real Estate Commission, C, Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons, or D, Massachusetts Consumer Affairs Division? The answer is C, Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons. The Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons enforces ethics guidelines, ensuring compliance and addressing violations to uphold professional standards. What is a potential consequence for a real estate professional found violating Massachusetts ethics guidelines? Is it A, license suspension or revocation, B, mandatory community service, C, increased commission rates, or D, public apology? The answer is A, license suspension or revocation. Violations of ethics guidelines can lead to disciplinary actions, such as fines, license suspension, or revocation, as these measures help maintain professional integrity and public trust. Under Massachusetts ethics guidelines, what must a real estate agent disclose to all parties in a transaction? Is it A, the agent's commission rate, B, the seller's personal financial situation, C, the buyer's offer history, or D, material facts about the property? The answer is D, material facts about the property. Agents are required to disclose any material facts about a property that could influence a buyer's decision, ensuring transparency and informed decision-making. Massachusetts Property Valuation. Basic principles of property valuation. What principle of property valuation in Massachusetts suggests that the value of a property is influenced by the presence of comparable nearby properties? Is it A, principle of change, B, principle of conformity, C, principle of anticipation, or D, principle of competition? The answer is B, principle of conformity. The principle of conformity states that property values tend to be higher when properties in an area are similar in size, style, and function. This principle underlines the importance of neighborhood homogeneity. In Massachusetts property valuation, which principle suggests that the value of a property is affected by the cost of acquiring an equally desirable substitute property? Is it A, principle of balance, B, principle of contribution, C, principle of substitution, or D, principle of supply and demand? The answer is C, principle of substitution. The principle of substitution indicates that a property's value is determined by the cost of acquiring an equivalent property. This principle helps assess market competition and pricing. Which principle of property valuation in Massachusetts emphasizes the importance of future benefits in determining a property's current value? Is it A, principle of progression, B, principle of regression, C, principle of substitution, or D, principle of anticipation? The answer is D, principle of anticipation. The principle of anticipation is based on the expectation of future benefits, such as rental income or resale value, impacting the current valuation of a property. In Massachusetts property valuation, what principle indicates that the most profitable use of a property is its highest and best use? Is it A, principle of highest and best use, B, principle of substitution, C, principle of change, or D, principle of competition? The answer is A, principle of highest and best use. The principle of highest and best use suggests that a property's value is maximized when it is used for the most profitable legal and feasible purpose, reflecting its optimal utility. Sales comparison, cost and income approaches. Which approach to property valuation is most appropriate for a new construction in Massachusetts? Is it A, sales comparison approach, B, income approach, C, cost approach, or D, market approach? The answer is C, cost approach. The cost approach is most suitable for new constructions as it estimates the value based on the cost to replace or reproduce the structure, considering current material and labor costs. In Massachusetts, which factor is crucial when using the sales comparison approach? Is it A, selecting comparable properties, B, calculating replacement cost, C, analyzing income potential, or D, estimating depreciation? The answer is A, selecting comparable properties. The sales comparison approach relies heavily on selecting comparable properties, ensuring they are similar in size, condition, and location to provide an accurate valuation. What is a primary limitation of the income approach in property valuation? Is it A, difficulty in finding comparables, B, dependence on accurate income data, C, complexity in estimating replacement cost, or D, inapplicability to new constructions? The answer is B, dependence on accurate income data. The income approach is limited by its reliance on accurate income and expense data, which may not be available or reliable for all properties, particularly non-income generating ones. Why might the cost approach be less reliable for older properties in Massachusetts? Is it A, lack of comparable sales, B, inaccurate income projections, C, high construction costs, or D, difficulty in estimating depreciation? The answer is D, difficulty in estimating depreciation. The cost approach is less reliable for older properties because accurately estimating depreciation and obsolescence can be challenging, affecting the accuracy of the valuation. Massachusetts financing. Mortgage loans and financing options. Which of the following mortgage loan options is specifically designed to help first-time homebuyers in Massachusetts? Is it A, jumbo loan, B, adjustable rate mortgage, C, MassHousing loan, or D, reverse mortgage? The answer is C, MassHousing loan. MassHousing loans are designed to assist first-time homebuyers in Massachusetts by offering low down payments and affordable terms. These loans are backed by the state and aim to make homeownership more accessible. What is the primary advantage of a fixed-rate mortgage for Massachusetts homebuyers? Is it A, stable monthly payments, B, lower initial interest rates, C, shorter loan terms, or D, no down payment requirement? The answer is A, stable monthly payments. Fixed-rate mortgages offer stability in monthly payments since the interest rate remains constant throughout the loan term. This predictability helps homeowners budget effectively without concern for rate fluctuations. Which financing option allows Massachusetts homeowners to borrow against the equity of their home? Is it A, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan, B, HELOC, C, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA loan, or D, conventional loan? The answer is B, HELOC. A home equity line of credit allows homeowners to borrow against their home's equity, providing a revolving credit line for various expenses. It's a flexible option but requires careful management. In Massachusetts, what is a key benefit of choosing a government-backed loan over a conventional loan? Is it A, higher interest rates, B, longer repayment terms, C, no closing costs, or D, lower down payment requirements? The answer is D, lower down payment requirements. Government-backed loans often have lower down payment requirements and more lenient credit qualifications, making them accessible to a broader range of borrowers, including those with lower credit scores.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Loan applications and approval processes. What is the primary purpose of the loan estimate form in Massachusetts financing applications? Is it A, to provide borrowers with details about loan terms and costs, B, to finalize the loan agreement with the lender, C, to determine the borrower's creditworthiness, or D, to provide a binding contract between borrower and lender? The answer is A, to provide borrowers with details about loan terms and costs. The loan estimate form provides borrowers with important details about the loan they are applying for, including estimated interest rates, monthly payments, and closing costs. It helps borrowers understand the terms before committing. In Massachusetts, which document must a lender provide within 3 business days of receiving a loan application? Is it A, closing disclosure, B, loan estimate, C, promissory note, or D, mortgage deed? The answer is B, loan estimate. The loan estimate must be provided within 3 business days of receiving a complete loan application, as required by the Truth in Lending Act and the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. What is the maximum allowable time for a lender to make a decision on a completed loan application in Massachusetts? Is it A, 10 days, B, 15 days, C, 30 days, or D, 45 days? The answer is C, 30 days. Massachusetts law requires that a lender must notify the borrower of the loan application decision within 30 days of receiving a completed application, ensuring timely processing. How does a borrower's debt-to-income ratio affect loan approval in Massachusetts? Is it A, it has no impact on approval, B, higher DTI increases approval chances, C, lower DTI decreases approval chances, or D, lower DTI increases approval chances? The answer is D, Lower DTI increases approval chances. A borrower's DTI ratio is crucial in assessing loan affordability. Lenders in Massachusetts typically look for a DTI below 43% to ensure borrowers can manage monthly payments comfortably. Massachusetts mortgage disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Massachusetts mortgage disclosure requirements? Is it A, to increase mortgage rates, B, to ensure transparency and consumer protection, C, to reduce the number of mortgage applications, or D, to encourage banks to offer more loans? The answer is B, to ensure transparency and consumer protection. The Massachusetts mortgage disclosure requirements aim to ensure transparency and protect consumers by providing them with this information regarding the terms and conditions of their mortgage agreements. Which document must lenders provide to borrowers under Massachusetts mortgage disclosure requirements? Is it A, good faith estimate, B, credit report, C, title insurance policy, or D, property appraisal? The answer is A, good faith estimate. The good faith estimate is required to be provided to borrowers, detailing estimated costs and terms of the mortgage, ensuring they are informed before committing. How soon must the truth in lending disclosure be provided to the borrower in Massachusetts? Is it A, 1 business day, B, 2 business days, C, 3 business days, or D, 5 business days? The answer is C, 3 business days. In Massachusetts, the truth in lending disclosure must be provided within 3 business days of receiving the mortgage application, ensuring borrowers understand the cost of credit. What is the significance of the APR in Massachusetts mortgage disclosures? Is it A, it shows only the interest rate, B, it reflects the total cost of borrowing, C, it determines the loan approval, or D, it is optional information? The answer is B, it reflects the total cost of borrowing. The APR, or annual percentage rate, represents the total cost of borrowing, including interest and fees, providing borrowers with a comprehensive view of the mortgage cost. Massachusetts-specific loan programs. Which Massachusetts-specific loan program is designed to assist first-time homebuyers with down payment assistance? Is it A, Mass Save Heat Loan, B, MassHousing Down Payment Assistance Program, C, Home Modification Loan Program, or D, Massachusetts Housing Partnership One Mortgage? The answer is B, MassHousing Down Payment Assistance Program. The MassHousing Down Payment Assistance Program is tailored for first-time homebuyers, providing them with financial support for down payments, making homeownership more accessible. What is the primary feature of the Massachusetts Housing Partnership One Mortgage Program? Is it A, low-interest loans with no private mortgage insurance, B, grants for home repairs, C, assistance for energy-efficient upgrades, or D, high-interest loans for luxury properties? The answer is A, low-interest loans with no private mortgage insurance. The One Mortgage Program provides low-interest loans to first-time homebuyers with no private mortgage insurance requirement, making it a cost-effective option for eligible buyers. Which Massachusetts loan program offers assistance for home modifications for disabled individuals? Is it A, MassHousing Down Payment Assistance Program, B, Mass Save Heat Loan, C, Home Modification Loan Program, or D, Massachusetts Housing Partnership One Mortgage? The answer is C, Home Modification Loan Program. The Home Modification Loan Program provides financial assistance to homeowners for modifications that improve accessibility for disabled individuals, promoting independent living. What is the primary goal of the Mass Save Heat Loan Program? Is it A, providing down payment grants, B, funding home accessibility modifications, C, offering low-interest mortgage options, or D, promoting energy efficiency through interest-free loans? The answer is D, promoting energy efficiency through interest-free loans. The Mass Save Heat Loan program aims to promote energy efficiency by offering interest-free loans for energy-saving home improvements, helping homeowners reduce energy costs and environmental impact. MassHousing, Massachusetts Housing Finance Agency. What is the primary purpose of MassHousing in Massachusetts? Is it A, to provide affordable housing financing for low and moderate income residents? B, to regulate real estate licensing in Massachusetts? C, to manage public transportation funding? Or D, to oversee environmental protection laws? The answer is A, to provide affordable housing financing for low and moderate income residents. MassHousing is a self-sustaining agency that provides financing for affordable housing in Massachusetts. It aims to increase the availability of affordable housing for low and moderate income residents. Which type of loan is commonly offered by MassHousing to first-time homebuyers? Is it A, adjustable rate mortgage with high initial interest rates? B, MassHousing mortgage with down payment assistance? C, private loans with no government backing? Or D, luxury home financing options? The answer is B, MassHousing mortgage with down payment assistance. MassHousing offers various loan programs, including the MassHousing mortgage, which is designed to assist first-time homebuyers with competitive rates and down payment assistance. How does MassHousing primarily fund its loan programs? Is it A, federal government grants? B, state tax revenue? C, sale of tax-exempt bonds? Or D, private donations? The answer is C, sale of tax-exempt bonds. MassHousing funds its programs through the sale of tax-exempt bonds, allowing it to offer competitive mortgage rates and finance affordable housing projects. Which of the following is a key feature of MassHousing's homebuyer education program? Is it A, focus on luxury home investments? B, training on real estate sales techniques? C, guidance on commercial property management? Or D, education on budgeting and mortgage options? The answer is D, education on budgeting and mortgage options. MassHousing's homebuyer education program provides prospective homeowners with essential knowledge on the home buying process, including budgeting, mortgage options, and the responsibilities of homeownership. Massachusetts disclosure requirements and forms. Massachusetts specific disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Massachusetts mandatory real estate licensee consumer relationship disclosure? Is it A, to provide a list of real estate agents in the area? B, to outline the commission structure for real estate transactions? C, to inform consumers about the types of real estate relationships available? Or D, to detail the legal requirements for home inspections? The answer is C, to inform consumers about the types of real estate relationships available. The disclosure informs consumers about the types of real estate relationships available, ensuring transparency and helping consumers make informed decisions about the representation they receive. When must the Massachusetts lead paint notification form be provided to a prospective buyer? Is it A, before signing the purchase and sale agreement? B, after the closing of the property? C, at the time of the home inspection? Or D, upon the buyer's request? The answer is A, before signing the purchase and sale agreement. The form must be provided before a buyer signs a purchase and sale agreement for any property built before 1978, ensuring they are aware of potential lead hazards. Which of the following is not required in the Massachusetts Condominium Resale Certificate? Is it A, financial statements of the Condominium Association? B, rules and regulations of the condominium? C, details of any pending legal actions involving the association? Or D, personal details of individual unit owners? The answer is D, personal details of individual unit owners. The resale certificate must include financial statements, rules, and assessments, but it does not require personal details of individual unit owners, maintaining privacy. What is the consequence of failing to provide the Massachusetts smoke detector certificate at closing? Is it A, the buyer can request a price reduction? B, the closing cannot legally proceed? C, the seller must provide additional home warranties? Or D, the buyer assumes responsibility for compliance? The answer is B, the closing cannot legally proceed. Without this certificate, the closing cannot legally proceed, as it verifies compliance with safety regulations aimed at protecting property and lives from fire hazards. Commonly used Massachusetts forms. Which form is used to disclose the presence of lead paint in Massachusetts residential properties built before 1978? Is it A, seller's statement of property condition? B, Massachusetts property transfer notification certification? C, lead paint disclosure form? Or D, environmental hazard disclosure? The answer is C, lead paint disclosure form. The lead paint disclosure form is mandated by federal law for properties built before 1978 to inform buyers or tenants about potential lead-based paint hazards. What is the purpose of the Massachusetts mandatory licensee consumer relationship disclosure form? Is it A, to inform consumers about the nature of the relationship with the licensee? B, to disclose property defects to potential buyers? C, to provide information about mortgage options? Or D, to outline the terms of a purchase agreement? The answer is A, to inform consumers about the nature of the relationship with the licensee. This form is designed to inform consumers about the nature of the relationship they will have with the real estate licensee, ensuring transparency in agency relationships. Which form is required in Massachusetts to disclose the status of a property's septic system? Is it A, Massachusetts lead paint disclosure? B, Title V inspection report? C, seller's property disclosure? Or D, environmental impact statement? The answer is B, Title V inspection report. The Title V inspection report is required to disclose the condition of a property's septic system, ensuring it meets state environmental standards before a property transfer. What information must be included in the Massachusetts condominium resale certificate? Is it A, the property's historical significance? B, the number of previous owners? C, the unit's renovation history? Or D, financial details about the condo association? The answer is D, financial details about the condo association. The condominium resale certificate must include financial details about the condo association, such as fees and any pending legal issues, to inform potential buyers about financial obligations. Specific procedures for transactions. Which of the following forms is mandatory for a real estate agent to provide to a prospective buyer in Massachusetts before any transaction? Is it A, Massachusetts mandatory licensee consumer relationship disclosure? B, offer to purchase real estate? C, purchase and sale agreement? Or D, closing disclosure? The answer is A, Massachusetts mandatory licensee consumer relationship disclosure. The Massachusetts mandatory licensee consumer relationship disclosure form must be provided to buyers and sellers at the first personal meeting to discuss a specific property, ensuring transparency about the agent's role. What is the primary purpose of the lead paint notification form in Massachusetts real estate transactions? Is it A, to disclose mold issues? B, to inform about lead paint hazards? C, to outline termite inspection results? Or D, to provide energy efficiency ratings? The answer is B, to inform about lead paint hazards. The lead paint notification form informs buyers of potential lead paint hazards in properties built before 1978, ensuring compliance with federal and state regulations and protecting public health. In Massachusetts, when must the property transfer lead paint notification be provided to the buyer? Is it A, after closing, B, at the time of closing, C, before signing the purchase and sale agreement, or D, during the home inspection? The answer is C, before signing the purchase and sale agreement. The property transfer lead paint notification must be provided before the signing of a purchase and sale agreement for any property built before 1978, ensuring buyers are informed of potential lead hazards. What is the significance of the Massachusetts smoke detector and carbon monoxide certificate in real estate transactions? Is it A, it confirms the property has a security system, B, it verifies functional smoke and CO detectors, C, it guarantees fire insurance coverage, or D, it assesses the property's structural integrity? The answer is B, it verifies functional smoke and CO detectors. This certificate is crucial because it verifies that smoke and carbon monoxide detectors are present and functional, meeting safety standards before property transfer, thus ensuring occupant safety.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit birdsey.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsey, your AI-powered study partner.